Hello again, and welcome to another episode of How to Make the Most Out of Canvas. Today we are heading in a more infographic approach. So how do we present final information to others in a visual way? Because you're here, I don't believe I need to preach, not that I ever preach, but I don't believe I need to convert you to communicating visually. But I do think that there's something that we often forget about visual communication, which is that it's not always about others. It's also about retaining the information for ourselves. And when we go about the job of just doing a quick plan of how we're going to map out that information and then structuring the information into that plan, we digest the information a hell of a lot more than if we just left it as like scrawled notes on a pad of paper or a couple of notes in Notion or our Word doc or wherever. And not least, it makes it really nice to come back to. So when we come back to this, we're immediately able to grasp it, and we appreciate the little bit of extra time we took to pull it into something that is segmented and easy to digest. So there are so many benefits to doing it for ourselves and not just for others. That said, without further ado, let's get cracking on how we're going to make this one. Basically, we're looking at a focal container, so that's the pyramid, and then we just have these kind of repeating containers or elements around the side that obviously change depending on what we're talking about, but the format's pretty much the same, so they're just more copy-paste jobs. And then we have the little decorative icons which are there to indicate the context of what we're talking about and to add a little bit more visual interest to the text. It just breaks up the page a lot more and it makes it really delightful to look at in a quite a simplistic way. And as you'll see from the demo, it's pretty easy to make. So let me get us started on that. So first of all, we need to find that pyramid, which I know, it's a focal element, so it's going to sit within Build Your Canvas. And we could scroll through all of this, but I'm not going to scroll through all of it. I'm going to use the search bar and I'm going to look for pyramid, and here she comes already. So we're going to drag her over here. And then, listen, there is no point in this demo of you watching me type text. So I'm just going to select all of that. I'm going to filter on text and I'm going to copy drag it over here so that we just have that available. And sorry, didn't mean to deselect it. And then we need to find our icons. So we're going to look for ideation first, which I'm pretty sure is a light bulb. Let's go back into Nucleo. I'm going to come over here and click on the icons folder because this is going to filter all of our search results within the icons folder. And I know that I don't want to use anything that's not an icon because the point of this is not to distract from the content. The point is to add visual relevant references that don't overshadow the actual content that we're talking about. So we're in icons, we're looking for light bulb. And here we go. We've got light bulb. I'm going to drag it over here. Lovely. And then refinements. I know that with refinements, I wanted it to be like arrows converging. So there wasn't anything. So we could have gone for something like this, but I quite liked, where is it? I quite liked this one. So that's what I used, and that's what we'll use now. Could keep it like that, or we could rotate it as I did, like this. And then concepts, I was thinking more like science and testing and exploration. So I think I did go straight to test, and we got the test tubes, and pop my test tube in here. And then final idea, I was thinking like, what's final? Final is like the ultimate, it's like it's not the goal or the objective, it's the winning, basically. So that was what I typed in. I typed in, was it winner or winning? Winner. There we go. So we got this one at the top. Beautiful. And then we got our arrows. So let's jump in over here. I'm going to come back to overall canvas and look for arrow. And I mean, you can pick any that you want, really. Which one did I want to use? I'm going to use one of these, and then we'll see what the size comes out as. That's great. I like that one. Let's go for it. Yes, like this. Maybe I'm going to scale it down a little bit though, and then I'm just going to repeat it because you could, if you wanted to, you could use a different one every time, but you don't really need to. what I'm going to do is I need one that's flipped. So I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to go to Edit Icon. And I don't know why it's doing that, but let's see if I can have it not do that. Create copy. What does that look like? Well, it's fine now. So yes, it's this one that I want. I want to drag this. I'm going to rotate it, and then I'm going to scale it down a little bit. Not too much. Like that. Up. And like that. Nice. Nice. All right, and then would be the time to pull in your content, which probably you're going to already have it in a workshop. What I have, for the purposes of this demo, of course, I could just like copy these over and show you. But what I have started doing is coming up with color combinations that I really like. So when you're in a workshop, obviously everybody generally picks their own color unless you tell them to do otherwise, and that's great. But when you present it back for yourself, it's quite nice to have your own color palette that's kind of consistent throughout all of your content, and that's what I've done. So if I just come here and I'm going to filter, and I'm going to filter on sticky notes, and I'm just going to copy this over, and we can pretend that, well, maybe you decided you were going to free type some of the answers in here if you didn't have sticky notes from an exercise available to you, and you definitely want that out of the way of the final idea. But there you go. It's a hypothetical concept, but it could be applied to many real life concepts of how you could segment that information across 4 different stages. I have some pyramids in there that are 3 stages, 2 stages. I don't have 5 stages, but if that's something that would be useful to you, let me know, and we can have 5 stages too. I hope this was useful. It's just another quick example of what you can do with Canvas, and I wish you a bloody beautiful day. Thanks for listening. Bye.